The sky above Earth was calm and blue just like any other day. People went about their lives unaware that their world was about to change forever. Far away in space, something huge was moving closer to the planet. A fleet of massive alien ships. They were unlike anything humans had ever seen before. The ships belonged to the Zorvans, a powerful alien species known across many galaxies. They had conquered many worlds, taking control without asking for permission. Their reputation was feared by many, but Earth had never faced them before. Now, Earth was on their radar. The first sign of trouble came when all satellites suddenly stopped working. Communication lines went dead and a strange silence fell over Earth. Then, out of nowhere, the giant ships appeared in the sky. They blocked the sunlight, casting long shadows over cities and countryside alike. People looked up in shock and fear. In the capital cities of the world, leaders gathered quickly. They watched the screens as the Zorvan ships hovered above Earth. The alien voice came through the loudspeakers in every language, clear and strong. People of Earth, we are the Zorvans. This planet is now ours. Surrender immediately and avoid destruction. The message was simple but terrifying. The Zorvans wanted Earth without a fight. They had the power and the weapons to take it by force, but they hoped humans would give up peacefully. The leaders met in secret, worried about what to do. Some wanted to negotiate, hoping to save their people. Others believed that surrender meant losing everything. The decision was difficult. Meanwhile, people in the streets watched the skies nervously. Many feared the worst, but some felt a spark of hope. They had never faced an enemy like this before, but they knew one thing for sure. Earth was their home, and they would protect it. In a hidden laboratory under the mountains, a group of scientists worked day and night. They studied the alien technology and tried to find a way to fight back. Among them was Dr. Emily Carter, a brilliant scientist who believed that humanity's strength was not in weapons but in its creativity and spirit. "We can't just give up," Emily told her team. "We must find a way to defend Earth, no matter what." Her words inspired the group. They began working on a secret project called Project Atlas, designed to use human intelligence combined with whatever alien technology they could understand. In the cities, ordinary people also started to prepare. Farmers learned to use old machines in new ways. Engineers repaired damaged equipment. Soldiers trained harder than ever. Everyone played a role. As days passed, small resistance groups formed. They communicated through secret channels, sharing information and plans. The message was clear. Earth would not be taken without a fight. The Zorvans tried to show their power. They sent small scout ships to test human defenses, but humans surprised them. Using quick thinking and teamwork, people managed to disable some of the alien ships. It was a small victory, but it gave hope. News spread fast. The world was no longer scared. It was ready to stand strong. In one remote village, a young man named Liam watched the sky every night. He was not a soldier or a scientist, just a simple mechanic, but he felt a deep love for his home and a desire to help. When Liam saw the Zorvan ships, he did not feel hopeless. He believed that if people worked together, they could protect their planet. "We must never forget," he said to his friends. "Earth is ours. No one has the right to take it." The Zorvans noticed the growing resistance. They were puzzled. They expected humans to give up quickly. But humans fought back with courage and heart. This was something new. The alien commander, a tall being with sharp eyes, spoke to his officers. "These Earthlings are stronger than we thought," he said. "We must be careful. This will not be an easy conquest." But the commander was also angry. His people had conquered many worlds before without trouble. Earth was different, and that made him curious. Back on Earth, the world prepared for what was coming. People rebuilt broken machines, shared food, and helped each other. The Zorvan invasion was no longer just a threat. It was a challenge that united humanity. In the skies above, the alien ships waited. On the ground, humans stood ready. The battle for Earth was about to begin, but one thing was clear. The only rule the aliens should never break was that Earth was not theirs to take. The Zorvans had come to Earth with power and threats, but humanity was not ready to give up. The news of their arrival spread quickly around the world, and people began to realize one important truth. Earth was their home, and they had to defend it no matter what. In cities and villages, from big metropolises to small towns, people started organizing themselves. Governments worked together, and new alliances were formed. Old rivalries and disagreements faded as everyone faced the same enemy. This was a fight for survival. In a hidden underground base deep beneath the mountains, the heart of the human resistance was beating stronger than ever. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders gathered to create something new, something powerful. They called it Project Atlas. Dr. Emily Carter, the brilliant scientist who led Project Atlas, believed that technology alone would not save Earth. Our strength, she said, comes from our will to protect what is ours. She worked with her team day and night, studying the Zorvans' ships and weapons. The goal was to turn the enemy's technology against them. Project Atlas was more than just machines and weapons. It was a symbol of hope. It united people from different countries and backgrounds. Engineers from Japan worked with soldiers from Brazil. Farmers from Africa shared ideas with hackers from the United States. Everyone had a role to play. Meanwhile, the Zorvans were surprised by the resistance. They had expected humans to surrender quickly, but that was not happening. Instead, humans used their creativity in unexpected ways. They created clever traps, used the terrain to their advantage, and found ways to communicate secretly, even when the aliens tried to block their signals. In one city, a group of young hackers, led by a woman named Aisha, worked to break the aliens' communication systems. Their goal was simple: disrupt the Zorvans' ability to coordinate their attacks. Using old computers and homemade tools, they managed to send false messages to the alien fleet. This caused confusion among the Zorvan soldiers and slowed their advance. On the front lines, soldiers trained harder than ever before. Captain Marcus Lee, a veteran of many battles, believed in the power of teamwork. He taught his soldiers not just to fight, but to think and adapt quickly. The Zorvans may have better weapons, he said, but we have heart. That's something they can never take from us. The soldiers worked closely with civilians, too. Mechanics like Liam fixed old vehicles and turned them into powerful machines for battle. Farmers grew food for the resistance, even in dangerous conditions. Teachers and doctors took care of families, keeping hope alive. Small resistance groups began to grow. They moved through forests, mountains, and cities, striking at the Zorvans when they least expected it. They learned to use Earth's nature against the alien technology. Rivers, caves, and forests became their allies. In one daring mission, a group of resistance fighters led by Liam attacked a Zorvan supply ship that hovered over a small town. Using homemade explosives and quick thinking, they managed to destroy the ship without losing a single member. The victory was small but important. It showed that the Zorvans were not invincible. The people of Earth felt their spirits rise. They saw that together they could challenge the alien invaders. The fear that had once filled the air began to change into determination. But the Zorvans did not give up easily. They brought more ships and stronger weapons. Their commanders tried to find the leaders of the resistance to stop the fight quickly. They sent scouts to spy on human activities and tried to divide the people with lies. Yet, humanity remained united. Leaders like President Elena Ruiz spoke to the world. "We are stronger together," she said. "Earth belongs to all of us, and we will protect it with everything we have." The world listened, and millions volunteered to help. Scientists, engineers, doctors, and soldiers all worked as one. New inventions came to life: shield generators, fast vehicles, and communication devices that could not be easily hacked. Dr. Carter and her team made an important breakthrough. They discovered a way to create energy shields using the strange power source hidden beneath Earth's surface. These shields could protect cities and important places from the Zorvan attacks. The first shield was tested around the capital city. When the Zorvans fired their weapons, the shield held strong. It was the first time humans had stopped the alien weapons completely. The victory was celebrated worldwide. At the same time, smaller resistance groups continued their guerrilla warfare. They attacked supply lines, rescued prisoners, and spread messages of hope and courage. One such group included Aisha and Liam, working together to strike important targets and protect civilians. They were not soldiers, but their bravery made a difference. The Zorvan commander grew more frustrated. "These humans are more than we expected," he told his officers. "They fight with heart, not just weapons. We must find a new way." Despite the hardships, humans never lost sight of what mattered most: freedom and home. They remembered the rule no one should break. Earth was not theirs to take. In the quiet moments when battles paused and the stars shone bright, people talked about the future. They dreamed of a day when the Zorvans would leave and Earth would be peaceful again. For now, the fight continued. The resistance was strong, and Earth was ready to defend itself. The story of humanity's courage and unity was just beginning. The Zorvans had thought Earth would be an easy target. Their warships were powerful, their weapons advanced. But the resistance was strong and unexpected. The aliens began to realize that humans were not like other worlds they had conquered before. The Beam. Earth was full of surprises. The Zorvan commander stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking down at the blue and green planet below. His sharp eyes scanned the reports coming from their scouts. The resistance was growing stronger, and the humans were using their environment in ways the Zorvans did not expect. "They hide in the forests and mountains," one officer reported. "They use rivers and caves to move unseen. Our scanners cannot detect all their movements." The commander frowned. "We expected to crush them quickly. Instead, we face a clever enemy." But the Zorvans were proud. They believed their technology was superior. "We must adapt," the commander said. "Find their weaknesses. Destroy their leaders." On Earth, the resistance continued to grow. The small groups of fighters moved like shadows, striking when the Zorvans least expected it. They used traps made from simple materials, but they were effective. Mines hidden in fields, nets that could stop flying drones, even loud noises to confuse the alien sensors. Liam and Aisha worked closely together. Liam fixed and built machines while Aisha sent false signals to confuse the aliens. They learned quickly from each battle, and their teamwork became stronger. One day they received news that a small village was trapped by Zorvan troops. The aliens had surrounded the area and planned to capture the people. The resistance could not let that happen. Liam, Aisha, and a small group of fighters moved quickly. They planned an attack using the terrain. The village was near a river and surrounded by thick forest. "We will use the river," Liam said. "If we can break the dam upstream, the water will flood the area and stop the Zorvans." Aisha nodded. "I will send false messages to make them think we are attacking from the other side." The plan was risky but necessary. At night, under the cover of darkness, the group moved silently through the forest. Liam reached the dam and carefully set explosives. Meanwhile, Aisha hacked the alien communication to send fake signals. The Zorvans fell for the trick. They moved their troops away from the river, leaving the village less guarded. Suddenly, the dam broke. Water rushed down, flooding the fields and forcing the aliens to retreat. The villagers were saved. The victory was small but important. It showed that humans could use their world to their advantage. Back on the flagship, the commander was angry. "They fight like animals," he said. "They are not worthy opponents." But he was also worried. The Zorvans had faced many worlds, but none had resisted like Earth. The humans were resourceful, unpredictable. The commander ordered his scientists to develop new weapons and better scanners. They worked day and night, trying to find a way to see through the forests and track the resistance. But humans were always one step ahead. In one laboratory, Dr. Emily Carter and her team worked on new defenses. They used the strange energy source beneath Earth to create shields and traps. The energy was clean and powerful, unlike anything the Zorvans had seen. The resistance began using this energy to protect their camps and cities. The shields could block alien weapons and even confuse their sensors. The Zorvans tried to attack a city protected by the new shield. Their weapons hit the barrier but could not break through. The attack failed and many aliens were lost. Humans cheered. They had proven that technology alone was not enough to conquer Earth. Captain Marcus Lee led a group of soldiers to the front lines. They knew the Zorvans would come back stronger, but they were ready. "We fight for our home," Marcus told his team. "We fight for our families and future." The soldiers trained harder and prepared for the battles ahead. The Zorvans also tried to win by spreading fear. They sent messages threatening destruction if humans did not surrender. They attacked farms and villages to break the spirit of the people. But the opposite happened. Instead of fear, the people felt anger and determination. They wanted to show the aliens that Earth was not a prize to be taken. In one city, a young girl named Maya watched the skies every night. Her father was a soldier, and she dreamed of helping the resistance when she grew up. "We will never let them take our home," she said to her friends. Her words reflected the feeling of many. Earth had become more than a planet. It was a symbol of freedom. The Zorvan commander called a meeting with his top officers. "We must change our approach," he said. "These humans are strong because they fight for something greater than themselves. They fight for their home, their families, their future." One officer nodded. "Maybe we have underestimated them." The commander's face was hard. "This will be a long fight, but we cannot lose." Back on Earth, the resistance prepared for what was coming. They knew the Zorvans would not stop, but they also knew that together, humans could face any challenge. Liam, Aisha, and the others continued their work. They repaired machines, shared information, and helped those in need. The message was clear. Earth was not theirs to take. No matter how strong the enemy, humanity would protect its home. The battle was far from over, but one thing was certain. The Zorvans had met their match. The battle for Earth was becoming tougher every day. The Zorvans brought more ships, more weapons, and more soldiers. But humanity's spirit did not break. Instead, it grew stronger. The resistance had found a new advantage, a mysterious power hidden deep beneath Earth's surface. It started when Dr. Emily Carter and her team discovered a strange energy source while exploring underground caves. The energy was unlike anything they had seen before, bright, powerful, and clean. They named it the core energy. The core energy had a special quality. It could power machines without pollution and could create strong shields that blocked the alien weapons. More importantly, it could be controlled and shaped by human technology. When the Resistance built the first core energy reactor, they tested it in a small laboratory. The results were amazing. The energy flowed smoothly, and the shield it created stopped a powerful blast from a Zorvan weapon. News of the discovery spread quickly among the Resistance leaders. They knew this could change the entire war. Captain Marcus Lee was one of the first soldiers to see the new technology in action. He stood with his team near a city protected by a core energy shield. When the Zorvans launched a full attack, their weapons hit the shield but could not break through. "We've never seen anything like this," Marcus said with a smile. "This is our edge." The Zorvans were shocked. Their most powerful weapons were useless against the human shields. They tried to find weaknesses, but the shields held firm. Meanwhile, the scientists worked on new ways to use core energy. They built fast vehicles powered by it, able to move quickly and silently. They created communication devices that could not be hacked. The Resistance was becoming more advanced by the day. Liam and Aisha were part of a team that tested a core energy-powered vehicle. It was fast and quiet, perfect for surprise attacks. Liam loved working with the new machines. "This is a game changer," he said. "We can reach places the Zorvans don't expect." Aisha agreed. "And our messages won't be stopped anymore. We can keep the Resistance connected." The Resistance started planning bigger missions. They used the new vehicles and shields to strike at important Zorvan bases. The aliens were no longer the hunters. Humans were fighting back hard. In one mission, a group of Resistance fighters led by Captain Marcus attacked a Zorvan supply ship hidden in a mountain cave. Using the fast vehicles, they reached the ship before the aliens knew they were coming. The battle was fierce, but the humans used core energy shields to block enemy fire. Liam helped repair damaged vehicles during the fight, keeping the team moving. At the end, the supply ship was destroyed, cutting off resources to the Zorvan troops. The victory lifted human morale. Dr. Emily Carter watched the news with pride. Core energy is more than power, she said. It's hope. But the Zorvans were not ready to give up. Their commanders worked hard to find a way to counter the new technology. They sent spies to learn about core energy, but the resistance kept their secrets well. The alien commander grew more frustrated. Humans are adapting too fast, he told his officers. We must think differently. At the same time, the people of Earth continued to unite. Communities shared food, helped each other heal wounds, and rebuilt homes destroyed in battles. Maya, the young girl from the city, now volunteered as a messenger. She used the new vehicles to deliver important information quickly and safely. Her courage inspired others. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Maya looked at the sky filled with stars. She thought about the future she wanted, a peaceful Earth where children could play without fear. We will get there, she whispered. In the resistance headquarters, leaders gathered to plan their next steps. They knew the war would not end soon, but with core energy they had hope. President Elena Ruiz spoke with determination. We must protect this power. It is the key to our freedom. She looked at the faces around her. Soldiers, scientists, and ordinary people who had become heroes. We fight not just for today, but for every generation to come. Outside, the wind carried the sound of engines powered by core energy. It was a new dawn for Earth. The battle was far from over, but the human edge was clear. The Zorvans had met a force they could not easily break, the united will of humanity, powered by the mysterious energy of their home. Earth was ready to fight, and Earth would never be taken. The war for Earth had reached a new level. The Zorvans were furious about their failed attacks and the unexpected strength of humanity's defenses. But humans were growing bolder, inspired by victories and new technology powered by core energy. Captain Marcus Lee stood with his team at the edge of a forest, ready for a mission that could change everything. Their target was the Zorvan flagship, the biggest and most powerful ship in the alien fleet, hovering just above Earth's atmosphere. Destroying it would deal a heavy blow to the invaders and could turn the tide of the war. The plan was dangerous. The Zorvan flagship was protected by strong shields and armed with many weapons. No one had ever come close to it and lived to tell the tale. But humanity had learned to fight smarter, not just harder. We know the risks, Marcus told his team. But this is our chance. We fight for Earth, for our families, and for our future. Among the fighters was Liam, the mechanic and inventor, and Aisha, the skilled hacker who had disrupted alien communications many times. They worked closely, ready to support the team in any way they could. The resistance prepared core energy-powered vehicles for the assault. These machines were fast and protected by energy shields that could withstand Zorvan attacks. Every member of the team had trained for this moment. As night fell, the team moved silently through the forest toward the launch site of the Zorvan flagship. The air was tense, but their hearts were full of hope. Suddenly, alarms rang out on the alien ship. The Zorvans detected movement below. The battle was about to begin. Marcus and his team launched their vehicles, speeding toward the base of the flagship. Zorvan fighters rushed to defend their leader's ship, firing lasers and missiles, but the human shields held strong. The team dodged attacks with skill and used core energy-powered weapons to disable enemy ships. Aisha sent false signals to confuse the Zorvan defense systems, opening paths for the assault. Liam worked quickly to repair damaged vehicles during the fight, keeping the team moving forward. When they reached the base of the flagship, Marcus led a group inside. The corridors were dark and full of danger, but the team moved with courage and determination. Inside, they found the control room. Destroying it would shut down the ship's weapons and shields. Fierce fighting broke out. The Zorvans fought hard to protect their command center. But the humans were stronger in spirit. After a tense battle, Marcus and his team succeeded. They planted explosives and escaped just before the ship shook with a huge explosion. Outside, the flagship's weapons went silent, and its shields disappeared. The alien fleet was confused and vulnerable. Back on Earth, the news spread quickly. People celebrated the bravery of the fighters. The victory showed that the Zorvans were not unstoppable. The alien commander was furious. "We have lost the flagship," he growled. "This is a disaster." But he also knew the war was changing. Humans had shown strength beyond what he expected. The Zorvans tried to regroup and fight back. They sent more troops and weapons, but their confidence was shaken. Meanwhile, the resistance grew stronger. People from all walks of life joined the fight. They built new machines powered by core energy and trained harder. Dr. Emily Carter and her team worked on improving the shields and weapons. They believed the turning point had come. Humanity could win this war. President Elena Ruiz addressed the world, her voice steady and proud. "We have faced a great threat and stood our ground. This victory is a step toward freedom. Together, we will protect our home." The world listened and felt hope. Even the young like Maya knew that the future was brightening. She dreamed of a day when children could play safely and the stars above Earth were friends, not enemies. The battle was far from over, but Earth had shown its true strength. The only rule the aliens should never break: Earth is not theirs to take, and now humanity was proving it with every fight, every victory, and every act of courage. The war had lasted many months, but now something was different. The Zorvans, once proud and fierce conquerors, were no longer the unstoppable force they once believed. Earth had shown that its people were strong, united, and ready to defend their home with every ounce of courage. The battle after the destruction of the flagship became harder for the aliens. Their fleet was weaker, and their soldiers tired. On the other hand, humans grew more confident. They learned from each fight, using new technology and the power of the mysterious core energy to protect their cities and strike back. Despite the hardships, humanity never lost hope. One day, the Zorvan commander called his officers to a quiet meeting. The room was filled with tension. The commander's eyes were sharp but tired. "We have underestimated the humans," he said. "They fight with more than weapons. They fight with heart, and they protect something we never understood: their home." The officers nodded in agreement, but some still wanted to continue the fight. The commander raised his hand. "This war has cost us too much. It is time to consider a new path." Meanwhile, on Earth, President Elena Ruiz spoke to the people. Her voice was strong and hopeful. "The battle is not over, but we have shown that Earth is not for taking. We have fought with courage and we will continue to do so. But now we must also think about peace." Leaders from many countries agreed to send a message to the Zorvans, a message of respect and a hope for peace. Dr. Emily Carter worked with her team to prepare communication devices. They wanted to speak to the Zorvan commanders directly, not through threats but with honesty. Liam and Aisha helped build the machines that would send the message across space. The message was clear: Earth is free, and those who want to share the stars must honor the rule. Never take what is not theirs. The message reached the Zorvan fleet. It was unexpected. The commander listened carefully. "We will not conquer Earth," he said quietly. "Instead, we will learn to live with it." The Zorvans began to withdraw their ships, moving away from Earth's orbit. They left behind the damaged ships and broken weapons, but they also left a new respect for humanity. Back on Earth, people watched the sky as the alien ships disappeared. The relief was deep, but so was the pride. Humans had defended their world and earned a place among the stars. The resistance fighters returned home as heroes. Captain Marcus Lee, Liam, Aisha, and many others were celebrated for their courage and skill. Maya, now older and stronger, stood with her friends watching the sunset. The stars above seemed brighter, full of promise. "We have shown them what it means to protect your home," she said softly. The world began to rebuild. Cities were repaired and life slowly returned to normal. But the memory of the fight stayed alive, a reminder of what humanity could do when united. Earth also reached out to other worlds. Messages of peace and friendship were sent to neighbors in space. Humans wanted to be part of a community that respected freedom and life. The Zorvans, too, changed. They learned that strength was not just in weapons, but in respect and understanding. Their leaders began talks with humans about how to share knowledge and explore the galaxy together. Dr. Emily Carter looked to the stars with hope. "This is only the beginning," she said. "Together we can build a future where no one tries to take what is not theirs." President Ruiz smiled as she heard the news from the peace talks. "Earth is free," she said, "and it will remain free." The rule was clear and strong. Earth was not for taking. And now, it was a shining example in the galaxy. The story of humanity had changed. From a small blue planet, humans had shown that courage, unity, and respect could overcome even the greatest challenges. The stars were no longer a place of fear, but a place of hope.